What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We are in the garden this morning, and we got some green beans that need to go in the ground. We planted a few beans right here. These are actually the rows right behind me, and right here you can see a couple of them did pop up. We planted them directly in the ground there, and the other two rows here did not pop up at all. So I started a couple inside in this smaller seed tray. Seemed to have a much better success rate that way. So today, or this morning at least, we're gonna get these in the ground. If you guys been following along for a while, you know that we've had just a really wet spring here in North Idaho, but I think we finally got some good weather headed our way. Looks to be maybe like a week of sunshine is what they're saying. So the last, I don't know, maybe 3 months, we've just had like really rainy, wet weather, which is good for the fire season. It's been tough growing the garden. Everything's been just a hair too wet and a hair too cold. Hasn't been real warm here, but today we're supposed to get up into the 70s, so keep your fingers crossed. See if it does. All right, so this was a whole row of green beans and not a single one popped up. This was stringless pod, whatever that kind is. I got 3 different kinds here in this tray. I got a stringless bush, a slenderette bush, and a royal burgundy, which is like a purple one, the burgundy one, obviously. So we'll just pick one of these. Looks like the burgundy's doing the best, so let's do this row of burgundy, and then we'll just move back this way. When Liz and I started this garden, or I guess built it, constructed it, dug out this flat area, we knew that we were kind of ruining the soil by scraping it all up like this and getting down, digging out all the topsoil. But unfortunately this year, we just couldn't quite swing it, both financially and with time. We have some big projects to get done here on the homestead, and we couldn't really manage having a dump truck coming out and bringing up some dirt, or we haven't had a compost pile going long enough. We do have one going now, so next year this soil, we should be able to clean it up quite a bit and really have some decent soil for year 2 on the garden. Oh, that was like right on the side of the rock. That makes it easy. Oh wow, look at that. We already got roots coming out the bottom. We really got to get these in. Get out of there, kitty. No.
All right, now that we got all that planting done, we are moving up to the shop. We told you guys that we are going to show you how to shiplap the boards and get them on the wall. So that is what we are going to do. We've got the table saw all busted out. So let's get going on that. Okay, so these 2 piles of boards here have been sitting in our shop for, I don't know, probably like 6 or 7 months now. We already put them through the planer, so these are really smooth on one side. So the next thing we have to do is run them through the table saw. So this is what those boards look like. after they come off the mill, and you run them through the planer. Nice and smooth on one side. You don't really have to bother doing both sides because this is the side that faces the wall. And this is the side that's exposed. Okay, you come into our mudroom here, and this is the wall that we're going to be covering up with those boards. So this here, and a little bit behind the door there. Okay, so Mike is going to switch out the blade on the table saw for the dado blade that cuts the shiplap. Okay, we got these boards all split up. Some of them are kind of garbage, so we're not going to be able to shiplap them. Like this is split almost halfway down. We don't want to shiplap the rough edges like this, so all these boards have a bit of rough edge. So these are the ones that we're going to shiplap here. We've got 2, 4, 6 boards there. Which ones? A couple of them are already shiplapped. So like these are shiplapped here. So that's that pile. So that should be pretty much just enough for us to cover that little wall.
Oh. Okay. Are we for the Monte Cupid show? Ready to get ready?
You ready?
Lay back, everything go.
Got what, 6 boards to do?
12 passes.
We got this. Okay, so there's only 6 of those boards to cut. We got them all shiplapped. You can see we run the board through once, flip it over, and do it again on the other side. That gives it that shiplap groove, kind of like a puzzle piece. They fit right together. So we are getting the chop saw all set up. That is kind of the next piece of equipment that we'll use, and start putting these things up. Okay, we got the first up fairly easy. We are just using 2-inch finishing nails to go right through there. So you can see the top board just goes right in that little groove right there. It's super easy.
that for length?
I think that's good.
Okay. Just keep a finger in each side. We want there to be a little gap, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe check level every now and again. Make sure we're not getting way off somewhere.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, you can see we got everything done except for the top piece. I think we are gonna call it a night and just finish that in the morning. This is already looking 1,000 times better than it did. We are loving it. As you can see, we have other walls to do. And like I said, we're just doing this as we get the wood for it and kind of as we get around to it. But it's exciting to get kind of like the main wall in here all finished. Okay, it is time to finish this little project. Mike is going to be working on getting the last board up on the wall here, and I am going to put the switch plate over the switches. We have a couple of spacers that we have to put in there to make sure that the switches come out from the wall. So we're gonna do that. So without the spacers in there, you can see that this light switch is too far recessed into the wall. Doesn't look very good, and it could definitely be a little bit more practical.
Probably like 3 seconds.
Alright guys, so this is what we are using for these spacers. These are kind of like a rubbery material. They're an 1/8 inch and they stick together kind of like Legos. You can see that you can fold them and rip them apart so that the space in between the outlet can be more lined up with the wall and not recessed inwards. Okay, we did it. We got that wall all finished. That is how you shiplap a small wall. Goes up really easily. This was left over from the old house. Got to put it back up. Looks good. Looks good.
You think it looks good?
Yeah, one little step at a time. You know, every wall that gets covered is less insulation to the fact.
I think it looks good too. Came out pretty nice.
Did come out pretty nice.
Yes, and it has a finished look, which we're not really used to.
Right.
So
yeah, we put the switch cover on there, so it's nice.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
Came out good.
We aren't staining or like painting any of this wood, I think, until we get pretty much the entire thing done. Because some stuff we probably won't stain. Other stuff, like I could see us putting some sort of coat over that one, just because there's a lot of blemishes like in the wood.
I would, yeah, not so
we'll
much
see.
blemishes, but character.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
Sure. It
Sure.
worked out really good. I liked how, well, I like that we get used to having these unfinished walls, and then we have a finished wall up all of a sudden.
Right.
Like, it's a really big change in your
is.
mind, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, it makes it seem like just fancy and like almost complete, you know?
Fancy.
Even though you can't look too far because there's still insulation and bare walls
Yeah, just don't look
right
up.
next to it.
Right.
But one little thing at a time is definitely helping put this place together, so it's cool.
It's turning out good, both of us.
Yeah, and that's how we do shiplap. It's really super easy to do. Mike and I both like that look as opposed to just drywall. Not that there's anything wrong with drywall, but we're kind of going for like a cabiny, like rustic vibe. I think the wood definitely gives it that.
Yeah, plus it's super economical for us. That mill has paid for itself probably 8 times over already.
Definitely.
Super good investment. Yeah, it works out just great. Run it through the table saw really quick. A lot of people probably use a router to do shiplap. That's another way you could do it. Maybe one day Liz and I will try the router method and see if it works any better, or if we prefer the table saw with the dado blade.
Yeah, we'll see. We still have lots more to come. So.
Yes, lots to come. We appreciate you
sounds
guys
good.
watching. And if you haven't already, please check out the links to our website down below. Liz has been pumping out the blogs.
Yes, that and the meetup this summer.
Yep.
If you guys haven't heard about that, a bunch of YouTube channels in the area are doing a meet and greet. So check out our website or follow that link right here, and it'll take you to a sign-up sheet. We'd love to meet you.
See you later.
Bye, guys.